We're working. We're in the lab, and we're gonna make sure this happens as soon as possible.
Welcome to an episode of the Sports Genes Into the Lab podcast, where sports analysts and experts dissect the latest news from the NBA and NFL, giving you a unique view on some of the hottest topics around your favorite teams. From the fresh field smells of the NFL to the hardwood courts of the NBA, and possibly your comfy couch for your fantasy football team. Let's see what kind of news the lab is working with today. Here's your host from the Sports Analytics headquarters in San Antonio, Texas, Ernest Silva.
All right. It's Thursday night, and it's happening here in San Antonio, Texas. I'm your host, Ernest Silva. Excited to be here on another Into the Lab podcast, a special edition on Thursday night. Not a usual night for us, but you know what? It's going to be fun. We're going to talk some NFL action before we go full NBA. This is that transition time. Most NFL team fans are not paying attention to stuff. That is absolutely right, including Dallas Cowboy fans. And I am very sorry to my Dallas Cowboy fans out there. I understand. Tonight's episode, powered by Blue Collar Media Group, BCMG, is what we've always gone by. Excited. If you don't know what BCMG is, I got a special video for you. Check it out. What our 2022 hashtag was, Better Together. Check it out right now.
Happy Thursday, y'all. Happy Thursday.
I'm your host, Andrew Kahn. This is the Boomtown Pod.
Add Into the Lab Pod is where you're watching today's stream.
Stuck him!
It is Blue Collar Game Day. I am your host.
I got a kill!
Welcome to episode 277 of the official Butthole Podcast. Got it.
Beautiful.
Better together.
Better together.
We're better together.
Better together.
Better together.
That's right. Blue Collar Media Group's Better Together, our campaign slogan to bring together streamers, content creators, and podcasts, sports podcasts all together. If you could join BCMG today, that'd be great. You can just reach out to me on any platform, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Twitch. It's going to be a fun night, guys. I'm going to have a conversation with you guys. We're going to go over some of the reacts in round one, and then we're going to go over ITL's NFL Pick Em in round number two. So let's get started with round number one. That is right. That's the bell if you're listening on your podcast. Divisional round reacts is what we're going to start off with. And as you know, what we've been doing the last couple of weeks, we've gone to the different Texas newspaper headlines around the state. So let's start off in San Antonio, where we have the Cowboys headline that we didn't want. That's right. We didn't, boys. That disappoint. That's right. We didn't, boys, disappoint. It was not fun for Dallas Cowboy fans this past week as the Dallas Cowboys fell to the San Francisco 49ers at the score of 19-12. We stood here and sat here on this show last week ranting and raving about perfect Dak Prescott. It was far from it. It was more like a Dak disappointment this past week. Dak Prescott went back to his turnover self and could not lead the Dallas Cowboys to a win against the San Francisco 49ers in a game that everybody thought he would outperform and outshine Brock Purdy, and we would see the Dallas Cowboys finally in the NFC Championship again for the first time in almost 3 decades. Guys, this is not an easy topic for me to talk about, so let's just start off with the elephant in the room. I was absolutely dead wrong about Dak Prescott and what he would do this week. I really felt like it was teed up for the Dallas Cowboys to show up in this game and show out. Dak Prescott was the oldest quarterback still left in the NFL playoffs. He had more experience than most of the quarterbacks that are still left. I mean, if you take away Burrow and Mahomes on one side, on the NFC side, it was absolutely Dak's to own. You have a quarterback in Jalen Hurts. You have a quarterback, Brock Purdy. And you have the quarterback in Daniel Jones. All of them not at the same tier as what Dak was in his prime in the regular season and when he's at his all-time high like he was the week before in Tampa Bay. Unfortunately, it was the only piece to the Dallas Cowboys puzzle that did not go well in this divisional round matchup. The Dallas Cowboys defense played fantastic. They pressured the quarterback. They got and kept Christian McCaffrey at bay, although we know he had a calf injury that we don't know too much about. And then you had the special teams, who took all the criticism in the world, actually played decent. Yes, they had a special teams extra point blocked in the beginning of the game, but aside from that, it was literally exactly what the headline should read. It's a Dak disappointment. And there were a few of you that were here last week that were just ridiculing, and throughout the week, still ridiculing how much we put Dak on a platform. I'm going to stand by this, and you can comment if you don't agree. Dak Prescott in the regular season is a top 6 quarterback this year. He was phenomenal. And then you have not only him playing at an astounding level in the Super Wildcard weekend, as I have an entrance coming into the show, he comes in and falls exactly flat on his face. I'm going to bring back the headline as I bring on, that is right, Just Luke. Just Luke has joined the fray, has joined ITL. What's up, brother?
What's up, my man? Just down here at the cigar lounge, enjoying a nice smoke, watching the Penguins game, and watching everything else go up in flames like the Dallas Cowboys, bud.
Oh yeah. You already know it. I'm giving my apologies as we go over the first headline. Yeah, because I absolutely boosted Dak Prescott. I'm not gonna say I said he was Hall of Fame like I'm getting claimed across social media. I wasn't saying he was a Hall of Fame quarterback.
I don't think you dropped the HOF.
I did not do that.
that.
Yeah, I did not do that. All I was saying was that if you were Dak Prescott in this game, right, you could not fuck around and find out. You had to take care of business against the San Francisco 49ers. And I thought after what he did in Tampa Bay, he was not going to do that.
As you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
That's exactly it. That was exactly it. And he did it, right? So, Luke, you got to watch the game. Other than Dak, the Dallas Cowboys played a very good game. The defense was fantastic. Special teams did its job. I felt if Dak even plays remotely close to Tampa Bay Dak, Cowboys are playing against Eagles this weekend. Am I wrong?
It's just it all changed when Tony Pollard went out.
It did.
The whole game plan changed. The whole demeanor of the team changed. The air in the entire building changed when Tony Pollard went out, which prayers up for him. That sucks for him, especially in a contract year. It kind of sucks. Now it's definitely going to cost him some money. But I just say if he doesn't turn the ball over twice, I think you're probably winning by 2, maybe winning by 1. I really believe that. But really, he should have had 3 picks. And honestly, Ernest, they were the 3 worst picks I've seen all year.
They were bad. They weren't close.
They were rookie picks.
Okay, so let's be honest. If we look at, and I don't have a clip of it, right? But if you look at the first pick, it looked like he was wanting to throw the ball away, but then he saw Gallup break free and he read it completely wrong. Like that doesn't look like that ball sailing.
I don't know. It's tough for me. If I would have seen him all year, I could probably tell you a better view. Like you've seen way more.
Yeah. It looks to me like he read, okay, I have no one open. Let me throw it over the head of Gallup. And, oh, wait, there's Gallup. Threw it in the vicinity, but it was a totally bad read.
It's just throw it in the dirt then.
True.
Throw it in the dirt.
True.
In that game, that's a regular season play.
It is.
Not be a regular season play. A postseason play, You just can't have it like that. And then the second one,
second one was terrible.
That's straight bracket cover. That is stuff you learned day 1 of training camp. It's bracket coverage. What else were you looking at? And then let's be honest, Fred Warner overran the interception. Like he had, like, he was already thinking end zone and what kind of celebration he was going to have. He completely overran the last one. But that was, again, that's a bad pick. And,
Yeah.
like, I get it. That team has so much pressure on it, and it will forever remain that way. There's no way their pressure will ever be off that team, ever.
No.
But 2 picks in the game that you need to be not mediocre. You don't have to be a god, but if you don't turn the ball over, you throw a touchdown, you get about 200 yards. And like I said, when Pollard went out, you could just tell everything changed. And that's really what came down to it. Because honestly, that defense did enough for you to win that football game.
No, you're absolutely correct. And they say that, right? I mean, everybody's saying that. It's the full. I felt this was my feeling was before that game, and I'll end it on this because I don't want to go full Cowboys today. I felt that Dak hadn't shown that next level to winning a playoff game in the playoffs yet. The Tampa Bay game, I didn't think Tampa Bay was that bad, but maybe they were. Okay. Because Dak hit another level, or at least his stats did. So I thought, oh, there is another level to Dak. We can win with this guy when we're writing a game plan for him. Then you put him against a defense like San Francisco, who's probably the top defense this year, right? That's probably the top defense this year. But they didn't need to be the top defense because Dak made the mistakes. He just had to play game manager, and he couldn't do it against the top defense. And I still don't know if he has that next level, right? But if you ask me the question on, okay, well, get rid of Dak. Well, who are you getting rid of him for?
First of all, that's horrendous. Like, you just can't do that right now. Even if you want to, you're eating $40 million, no matter what. Whether you trade him, you're eating $40 million. That's impossible to recover from. You're losing your best weapon in the offensive backfield in Tony Pollard, most likely, unless Zeke or him take a pay cut, which I don't see either one of those guys taking a pay cut.
Well, Zeke said he would, but I don't even know if we want him. That's like, why keep him?
It's frustrating because somebody needs to lose their job after this, because first of all, Kellen Moore should lose his job just off that last play by itself.
Well, I like where you're going with that, right? Because 6 assistant coaches were fired for the Cowboys this weekend. That includes offensive line coach that's been there for almost 12 years. That includes running back coach, which doesn't bode well for Ezekiel Elliott or Tony Pollard. But 6 assistant coaches not named Dan Quinn or Kellen Moore were fired. But on that note, Dan Quinn did come out and say he will be returning to the Dallas Cowboys, which is a huge win for Dallas. He's not taking any head coaching interviews, which just means either he's waiting for the spot here in Dallas or he just likes it. Like, this is where his heart's at.
I just think he has the pieces to make it something more than it already is. Like, any of those head coaching jobs, you're looking at full rebuilds. I mean, out rebuilds. And honestly, I don't think Dan Quinn really wants to be until that pressure again.
He wasn't very good.
Like, what's the point? Like, why would you rather just stay in the background, cash that check? And I mean, it was a top 10 defense this year.
I mean, and honestly, addition by subtraction, right? Like, if you don't go for one of those jobs, maybe Kellen Moore sneaks over and gets one. You get an actual offensive coordinator who knows what he's doing in Dallas, and you can run with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of question marks for this team. I mean, CD, I think you got it with CD. You're fine there. TY is, he was good for a little bit there, but, like, you're not signing him to long-term deals.
He's got another year on the contract. He's a 2-year contract, so he'll be back. But you do need another stud wideout. Like, you can't run everything through CD now that Tony's probably gone.
Honestly, the first call I'm making is the Arizona Cardinals. What's it going to take?
True. I mean, I don't know if that ever happens.
I don't think it'll happen, but then that means you're going after one of two people. It's D-Hop or it's Odell. One of the two.
Let me ask you something, Luke, and we'll move on from the Cowboys. Green Bay calls. You take it?
For Aaron? Absolutely.
Absolutely 100%?
No.
Oh,
No.
you don't? Okay. All right.
No.
Just had to make sure. Last topic here on San Francisco, just because I don't want to talk about the losing team as much, but let's be honest, he was pretty awesome. That was Brock Purdy did exactly what he needed to do in that game. He kept the team afloat. He kept the pulse. He kept the ball, which was important. And San Francisco rides that win. I don't know how many people are giving them a shot against Philly, as Philly's probably the next upgraded option to what Dallas was, right? Everybody's giving Dallas a puncher's chance against Philly because of the division. Now you have San Francisco with his backup quarter. When does the magic end? We're going to talk about that game in just a bit, right, in round number 2. But in this game, hurt Christian McCaffrey. Debo didn't look 100% either, but San Francisco rolls with Purdy. Purdy's right in there, right? George Kittle is absolutely feasting with Brock Purdy. What do you think? Brock Purdy, real deal.
I'll tell you this. I'm not going to take anything away from the kid for honestly being Mr. Irrelevant, the whole chip on my shoulder, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to take it away from him. You could plug any quarterback in right now, and I could probably go out there and it would be hand the ball to Christian McCaffrey 10 times.
Right.
Throw the ball to Brandon Ayuk and Debo Samuel 10, 15 times. Don't turn the ball over. I mean, I'm just saying, that is tailor-made for a defense, that team right now. Brock Purdy is perfect for that team in that situation right now. And it makes it doesn't turn the ball over. He's still a rook. He's still going to make no one said that at all last week. Mark, run it back. Nobody said Hall of Famer last week. But no, Purdy's doing exactly what he needs to do. Now, this week is absolutely crucial. The front seven of that Philadelphia team is legit. They are going to come at you in waves. And the problem has always been, at least this year too, is Philadelphia secondary isn't that great. They have in the corners and safeties area. And that's what Purdy needs to do this week. They need to get him moving. They need to move him in the pocket more. They're not doing that a lot. They're expecting him to make throws from the pocket, which I can tell he is making those throws, but he needs to be on the perimeter more, especially with McCaffrey or a Debo or Brandon Ayuk. He loves Ayuk.
Yep.
And George Kittle looks like George Kittle of old. He's starting to come on. Him and Purdy have a great connection. So get him rolling out of the pocket, and I think they have a better chance that way instead of him just standing like a statue. He does have legs. I'm not saying he's Lamar or Jalen, but the kid can move. He's more mobile than Jimmy Garoppolo, or more, I wouldn't say more mobile than Trey Lance, but he can move. Just move the kid, especially in this Kyle Shanahan offense. He's predicated on a lot of motions, a lot of eye candy, but a lot of boot action. So if they can get the running game going, because I gave Dallas credit last week. I said they were a terrible run defense all year, but they showed up and I'll take my licks on that one. They showed up last week. So if they can it is an absolute crucial thing. They have to get the running game going this week, especially with that Philadelphia front seven.
I don't know if you missed it, but we just spent a whole 10 minutes lashing on Dak, so you might want to run it back after this episode. I don't know if you can rewind the live feed. But Chris, you were absolutely right about Dak. No next level in the playoffs. Great regular season quarterback. Very bare minimum in the postseason. We're going to move on. Valley Morning Stars. Headline was, looks like the wagon circled the Bills. Ouch. Yeah, the Bills did not show up this past weekend, just like I didn't, because I wasn't on the field either. They absolutely got steamrolled by the Cincinnati Bengals, and it was a surprise to everybody. I was getting live messages from people who watch the show, friends of the show, asking, do you want to hammer moneyline Bills at this point? I was like, I kind of would, but just because I think there's a storyline, all NFL storylines are out the window. The Bengals ran with it, and they never looked back. They looked fantastic. So it begs the question, this is the big question I had, was Shea Tierney actually more of an impact than we thought? Okay. Quarterback coach for the Buffalo Bills last year. Josh Allen, low turnover rate, plays at a different level. He goes to New York. Daniel Jones looks phenomenal to end the year, looked phenomenal in the playoffs. I think there's a connection with that. Maybe Josh Allen's, circle kind of goes away. Josh Allen isn't as explosive. as he could be. And there was a lot of turnovers for Josh Allen. We talk about Dak a lot, but Josh Allen was very turnover prone. That did not change in the playoffs. What do you think, Luke?
I mean, the more things change, the more things stay the same, Ernest. You play defense and you run the football, and that's exactly what the Cincinnati Bengals did. And that's what the Buffalo Bills cannot do, and they haven't been able to the last couple of years. This is 4 years in a row that the Bills have gotten bounced.
Yep.
Years. Something's got to change. Something has to change. They have to do one of two things, and you can call me crazy for doing it. One, make the call to Arizona. Have Diggs and Hops. Why not? Go out, go get them. It'll be hard. Don't get me wrong. It's not like,
man,
this ain't Madden 23.
Sounds like cap hell. Yeah.
But make the call. What do they want? And number two, get Saquon Barkley or get Kareem Hunt.
I just want you to know you'd have like 80% of your cap locked up with Von Miller, DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs, and Josh Allen.
No, 100%. Yeah. But I'm just, you can't have Cole Beasley being your best number two next to Stephon.
So I actually think the Cowboys and the Bills have the hardest job with their roster, because right now they think they are both poised with their rosters to win the Super Bowl. And where do you go from here? With the Cowboys a little bit more up front, right? Like you can upgrade, most would say upgrade quarterback. Some would say definitely upgrading running back, and you can upgrade a second receiver. For the Bills, it's the same thing, right? We can upgrade receiver, right? Gabe Davis kind of disappeared. You need always update the running back situation, but Josh Allen's your running back. But you need Josh Allen to protect the ball. And so you focus on O-line. The defense was great, just missing Von Miller, you could tell.
The thing with Dallas is you had Jason Peters, who's 42 years old, Tyron Smith, who hasn't had a healthy season in probably 5 years.
Probably longer.
Biotish is not a good center. He's just not, at least in my opinion.
He's just familiar now with Dak. It's just hard to lose that.
So, like, there's 3 out of 5 holes right there.
Yeah.
The offensive line for the Bills is built to pass. They're not built to run. They're just not. And at the end of the day, in the elements, you can bitch, cry, moan, complain to Josh Allen as much as he wants. You have to be able to run the football effectively when there's 2 feet of snow outside. You have to.
Yeah.
Especially in Buffalo. They came to Buffalo. You had all this momentum. They had to come to Buffalo. You had DeMar on hand. It's snowing in your park. Like, this is what playoff was supposed to be. And they came in and smacked you around. Like, they have a lot more question marks to me than Dallas, I think.
Yeah, I'm opposite. But intriguing though. I would take Diggs in Dallas. Go ahead and run that back. All right, so let's talk about the team that won a little bit, right? And this is a honest question, because I've really debated this all week, and I wanted to hear your thoughts. But I'm going to start off with mine. Are the Bengals better than last year? Right? A lot of us I've gone full 180 on this. I've thought the Bengals were not going to even be irrelevant come playoff time. All of a sudden, mid-year, they start really, putting together this run. They were looking fantastic. Now they look, I think, 30% better than last year. I mean, they look full here, right? The offensive line came together. The defense looks stout. I mean, just all of it. Obviously, McPherson has been great. And then you have Joe Burrow just being swag Burrow in the playoffs. I can't get over it. He hasn't lost. So to you, for me, it's true. I think Cincy has gone to a different level. For you, do you think Cincy's better than last year? And we have the wonderful Dre Rogers now backstage going to join us live on ITL. But go ahead, Luke.
I think they're more relaxed than last year. Just for the sheer fact of, yes, they did have 5 offensive linemen last year, but they really didn't play 5 offensive linemen last year.
True.
They're still hurt on the offensive line. They still got 3 linemen out, but let's face it, even with 3 linemen out, they were 3 linemen down anyway. You know what I mean? Like, the offensive line has not been good. But I give Cincinnati credit. They suffered for 3 to 4 years. It sucked. They built through the draft. They took their lumps, and now they've made a monster in Cincinnati. Like, It's
for a good while.
the running game is great between him and P. Ryan. Great 1-2 punch. You have a defensive coordinator who definitely doesn't want to leave. You know what I mean? Like, he has a great defense. Mike Hilton has been a great addition to that defense on the back end for the last 2 years for them, coming over from the Steelers. And Zach Taylor's got these boys like believing in themselves, like, oh, it's just the Bengals being the Bengals. We weren't that far away from saying that.
Yeah.
Always, you know,
I don't think Burrow thinks he can lose.
that was only a couple of years ago, and now you're looking at the cusp of going back-to-back AFC championships and possible back-to-back Super Bowl berths in 2 years, when just 3 years ago you were like 1-15. Like, it's a huge turnaround for Cincinnati, and it sucks that it's in our division, but like,
I know that hurts.
Oh, man, but to say they're better than last year, I would agree. Yes, they are better than last year, but I feel like the chips off the shoulder, they're relaxed. Joe Burrow, he never looks phased at all, and I think that resonates with the entire team, really.
Completely agree. Let's get Dre's take on here. Dre, I see you traveling right now. What's up, man?
Hey, fellas, how you doing?
Good, Dre. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. It's raining outside, but all good, all good.
Where are you at nowadays, Dre?
Back in Bali now.
Oh, the good old
See,
Bali.
there's
Good
traffic.
Yeah, I see that behind you. What do you think, Dre? Give me your true or false. Bengals are better than last year.
Yeah. I mean, just like Luke said, they've not got a good offensive line, because last year Burrow got sacked I don't know how many times. And I think they lost that Chiefs game because of that. He got sacked like 6 times. So yeah, they've got a good team, and I'm actually calling them to get to the Super Bowl.
Very nice, very nice. We're gonna do some round 2 action. I don't know how long we have you, Dre, but we're gonna run through these headlines and then do our picks. We can wrap things up here. Let's go to the Austin Chronicle. Fly Eagles Fly lives up to the name. Philadelphia Eagles looked every bit the 1 seed that they deserve in the NFC. Begs a question that I am going to answer last. Are the Eagles a team to beat this year in the playoffs? I'll give you that one, Dre. Are the Eagles the team to beat in the playoffs this year?
I'm actually sending my time to you.
Okay, all right. I think that they are. I think the Eagles are the team to beat, just because the 49ers don't have their starting quarterback, or I'd be saying it's the 49ers. But I think that the Eagles are the team to beat. I don't use the NBA rule where if you're the champion, you have to be proven to be beaten. I don't do that, so Cincy's not my favorite. But I am going Philadelphia as a team to beat, as much as that hurts me to say as a Dallas Cowboy fan. I have to admit it. Luke.
Yeah, I mean, they flexed their muscles last week. They showed that they're completely healthy and they're ready for this playoff run. That week of being off really turned them around, and it looked like the Giants were just the Cinderella. It hit midnight. It was time to be done. They were checked out. They were done.
The Jaguars and Giants definitely had their Cinderella moments this week, but that's okay. That's what happens here. I even put that as my next headline. Do we even need to discuss the Giants? I think they played above their head against the Vikings. They won. They moved on. They did great season. Congratulations, Dable. You keep your job. We're not talking about it. Let's go to El Paso. The El Paso Times. Chiefs keep chiefing as they destroy the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know, what a headline. It's the absolute truth, though, right? And I'll start this one off like the Giants. Congrats to the Jaguars on a great year. You made the run. You were dead in the water. You made the run. You got a win against the Chargers, who charge. And then you go in and, you know, you lose to a great team like the Kansas City Chiefs. This week of football is what most of us fans wait for. 2 of the best teams in each conference going head to head. And I do feel like these are the 4 best teams that played all season, the best football. This is going to be the best football we see. And so just in case there's some upsets, who knows if we get the best Super Bowl, but this is definitely the best week of football with 2 best teams. Yep. Luke, I'm going to go to you on this one because formerly Heinz Field, I've always loved what Steelers, you know, bring with their stadium. I feel like there's like a really big, you know, the terrible towels and all that. I've got to ask this, okay? And then I'm going to ask Dre. Nobody has been able to part the Red Sea, right? Kansas City, the Red Sea, it's like huge in the playoffs. Nobody beats it. Is that the best home field advantage in the playoffs in the NFL?
Remaining. I would say yeah, especially if it's a night game, which I do believe it's like a 6 o'clock game. I think they're the late game.
They are. Yeah, AFC's a late game, 5:30.
Especially at night. I mean, they'll be plenty ready by the time kickoff is. If it was a night game in Philly, close.
Except for the Browns. Stop it, the dog pound.
Anyway,
Dre, what about you?
I mean, I've been to an Eagles game before, and you know that crowd is wild. So I think they've got. I think they're gonna go crazy, and just because of the weather. I mean, you know, the Niners are coming from the West Coast, so it's actually pretty big kind of home field advantage. I think I actually am giving them the edge to win that game just because of that. So that's why I think the Eagles have the real home field advantage. Trevor, over Dak. Yes.
Stop it. I actually agree. I will not go watch a game in Philly, even as a Cowboys fan. I just won't do it. Like I won't make that trip. Not because I don't want to, just because I've heard just horror stories of Cowboys fans in Philly. So just forget it. I'll go visit Philadelphia as a guest, but I ain't gonna go there. We are going to go to a commercial break. That commercial is going to feature the BCMG Stream Team before you find out who the three amigos pick in this week's games. Have you heard of the BCMG Stream Team? That is right. The Holy Man, one of the captains of the BCMG, saying, I can't stand the city of Philly. I get it, man. I get it. I've heard horror stories. But the BCMG Stream Team, led by Coach Peanut and the Holy Man, not to mention the wonderful Sam Fashion, they are leading this team on twitch.tv as well as Facebook Game. You can check out all those streamers' streams, because streamers going to stream every day of the week. You can find a different one. You can check out Mama Bear 1920 as well, or maybe Two Coney No Onion. All of them doing great. Check out these clips and see what the stream team has to offer, and maybe you want to catch one of their links at the bottom.
Jill going down the hill. Gonna go fetch Jack in his little pill. Jack feeling down and that's pretty bad. Let's go.
Oh! Yo! Clip that! Clip that headshot. Nice. No!
A pistol. What the Okay, that didn't count.
Woo! Let's go, baby. Clutch it up. Yeah, I like it.
What? No way. Did that precision just kill me?
Let's go!
Nice, Papa!
Papa with the clutch kill at the end. Let's go.
Oh, I missed. That was fast.
Got him.
Nice.
Man, I'm going to go steal their shit.
That is definitely orange. Green.
You're dumb and it's orange.
We're both wrong, red.
I could get that solo if I tried it a couple times, but we'll come back to it.
I'm fucking dick right now. Holy shit. Like, I fucking suck right now.
Yeah, I can tell.
All right. The BCMG Stream Team, check them out on twitch.tv or Facebook Gaming. It seems like most are going the purple route, though, and we did have some comments come flowing in that I can or cannot agree to. That's right. Philly is the armpit of America. I can't say it because I'm sure I have some viewers from the Philly area, so I hope that's not true, but I can imagine that's probably somewhat true. I hate admitting that the Eagles are straight up solid this year, though. Absolutely true, the Holy Man. And let me say it's heartfelt that we got your nephew in that clip. I love that your nephew's in that clip. Just kind of makes it wholesome for the BCMG stream team. And just a little PSA from the Holy Man, because I have watched the Holy Man. He is an absolutely phenomenal streamer. If you have not watched him, twitch.tv/the Holy Man with 2 E's. Check it out today. All right, guys. Round 2, ITL NFL Pick 'em Championship round. We are going at it. Here's what you've been waiting for. Here's where you make your money. Here's where we're going. First game on Sunday with some fantastic football is Philly. Philly Eagles, 2.5-point favorites against the 49ers. For those who don't understand spreads, let me go over it. 3-point spread for home field advantage, meaning the Niners right now are favored in Vegas to win this game. So let's talk a little bit about this game. We've already established what they did last weekend, but Philly comes in with probably the more complete team with a quarterback that's a little bit more diverse and athletic and at a different level than Brock Purdy. So I'm giving Hurts the edge over Purdy. I'm going to say the defense definitely favors the 49ers, but Dre beat me to it. The West Coast travel and being at home for Philly, I think negates that for me. And Philly will have momentum. I like special teams being pretty much even. I am rolling Philly to win this game and cover. Home favorites. They'll be going to the Super Bowl. As much as that's like vinegar coming out of my mouth, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles move on. Dre's already warming up the BCMG guarantee. I'm going to go over to just Luke since I know Dre's answer. Luke.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I want the 49ers just because of the story, I just, after what I saw them do to the Giants last week, like, I don't want to walk into that buzzsaw, especially going into Philly, and that weather's not looking good at all. Like, so I'm going to roll with the Eagles.
We have the rising meter, which we didn't have at all last week. Dre Rogers, give us that pick. Oh, he says he's just not even going to say it. BCMG guarantee. That's right. Philadelphia Eagles -2.5. Put those fingers in the air and wave them like you just don't care. That is right. The Philadelphia Eagles are a BCMG guarantee pick, which I am shocked a little bit. I'm shocked. That usually doesn't happen in championship week. So we got one. I think if Kenny was here, he would just ride 49ers just to ride 49ers and make sure we don't give a guarantee pick. But Eagles have the first guarantee pick. We're getting the van view there for Dre Rogers in the car. Let's see here. The Holy Man says, don't use Giants as a reference. They forgot they had a game last week. Yeah, man, we skipped over that part. I hate to say it, but I don't think Brock's going to handle the pressure. You know, we thought he would collapse against Dallas, but he didn't. So we'll see how much the game manager and that game plan gets them. And we'll see what happens this week. And the Eagles -2.5 enters our BCMG parlay of what will be 2 games. Here's the AFC Championship in a game I think we're all going to be heavily entertained. Chiefs open and end today -1 versus the Bengals. So Bengals being favored in Vegas right now. Guys, this is what we've been waiting for. We wanted this matchup. Mahomes is not 100%, which is probably what's moving this line quite a bit. But you have the Bengals who are on an undefeated streak since Burrow's been at the helm in the playoffs. You have them playing their best football of the season, and the Chiefs rolling into this game, maybe not 100% on either end of the football. I don't have to be, you're not a fortune teller. I'm telling you right now, I'm taking Bengals money line in this game. I think Bengals win this game. I think they're the more complete team right now. We're going to see the best 2 teams right now playing football in the Bengals and the Eagles play in Super Bowl. I know Dre's answer now. Now I know Dre's going. Luke, who do you have in this game?
The better defense and the better run game. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals.
We have 2 picks. That's going to take us over to Dre, who's going to break the silence.
You know, I just got some feedback from the car that our show is super boring, according to them, to the ladies in the car.
That's sad.
I just had to say that because both of them said the exact same thing.
What? 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 What?
What?
Bad reaction in the studio. But I'll tell you right now, with Dre's answer, that makes it an official. Two BCMG guarantees. That's right. Eagles at home. We have the Bengals on the road. This is going to be a fun weekend of football. The Holy Man says he's taking the Bengals as well. He believes in Burrows. Guys, this is going to be the best weekend of football that you're going to watch this year. Get your popcorn, get your Wingstop, right? Support those Dallas Cowboys wings. Get everything that you absolutely can because it's going to be one hell of a weekend of football. And that is actually the end of ITL today. And so I've got to say, this was a fast one, but it's one of our faster episodes of the year. Dre Rogers, tell the people where they can find you. We got to mute.
No, I wasn't talking. Yeah, it wasn't working. I'm actually on the show because you said that Steve might make it, and since he didn't, then you can clearly see who's the responsible one on the show here.
Thank you, Dre.
Also, quick shout out to Kenny. I know he's sick, and that's why he couldn't make it. So hope you feel better, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you for the shout out to Steve Reiser. And actually, that's a great reminder. Steve was going to be on the show tonight, but he couldn't make it. So let me go ahead and do this shout out. BCMG Game Day making its return from its 5-week hiatus this Sunday. Check it out this Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Time before the big games. Steve Reisner finally took a day off from work, so we get to hear what his NFL analysis is early morning on Sundays. Check that out.
Since his favorite player didn't make it to the defensive player of the year finals, then I'm pretty sure that's why he didn't make it.
That's got to be what it is. Let me go over to Just Luke. Just Luke, tell people where they can find you.
Yep, you can find me on Twitter at King of Hearts 82. I can't believe I don't know where the football season went. Like, I'm shocked about where we are. We're almost at Super Bowl week already. It's crazy. So yeah, but you can find me on Twitter at King of Hearts 82. Go to the link in that Twitter bio to send a life box to try to help save a life or save somebody's life from potential suicide, and always talk to your friends, guys.
That is absolutely right. And in case you've missed the previous episodes, you don't know where you need to go, that is wonderful.com, where you can check out some of that awesome items that are available for you. And you can always speak to any one of us, send out your messages in our DMs, and we can absolutely talk with you. Just Luke has been phenomenal with that. So appreciate you, Just Luke, with that plug. All right, guys, that's tonight's show. That is everything you need. Go out there, Bengals money line, Philly spread. That's what we're putting together for this week. Hopefully we hit. Hopefully it's a nice little bundle. Enjoy the best weekend of football. And I hope you catch some of our streamers and some of our shows this week, and catch Kenny Cotterell's show, Competitive Hedge Podcast, daily. I might be a little out sick, but you can catch him at Competitive Hedge Pod. And then, of course, any of our streamers on twitch.tv or Facebook Gaming. Thank you guys so much. Looks like the Holy Man's enjoying championship weekend. And, of course, you say his name and he appears. Kenny's going Chiefs Niners this week. Of course he is. That's where the guarantee would have ended. Good luck this week, guys. Hope your bets go great and watch some great football. Night, everybody.